remember the ones you chose last time, unless you want to choose some others. Choose differently, or the ones you had last time. All right. What? All right. Do you want those?
You say your song right now? Vibrate like? Is it tingling? Is that flowing?
Who? He's a little. What are you trying to do, Mott? Ah, that's why you need my help. Whoa, Napster with no blue. I'm pretty sure no one's gonna get that reference.
Oh man, that's what you had to see on that. Put the back one on. Oh damn, that I got hot real fast.
Oh, anywho, stream's up. Whoa.
George, I mean that Floyd. I know a lot of celebrities came out.
Mott.
Trina made like 3 or 4 apologies. But ain't nobody trying to hear it though.
What level are you on Warframe, my dude? Yeah. Same here.
What'd she say?
She was asking where we went. We had went to Dollar General to get some fries.
She was saying, she said she wasn't called an African American woman.
Those are your 3 Beyblades. You can choose which one to use first. The black. Yeah. Why do you say that? Yes. Me and Slip are doing a stream. Yeah. lost. So close, yet so far. Okay.
Yeah, they passed the Garner rule, or they passed the bill for him too, like how he died or whatever.
Yep, that's a burst finish. You've won that battle. You can use a different one or use the same Beyblade. I have to switch.
Mom, was you eating a burger? Yeah.
Right.
And fries? Yeah. Okay. What you say, no? What you say, no?
No to what?
I thought you said no. You say what?
Okay. Jesus. Yes. I don't know what to really call that. You decided to kind of just hit the wall and then come directly back at me. Full force. I was like, wait. Again, apparently. And I want you to know right now, Crazy, that's how I feel. Even though you don't know what's going on, that's exactly how I feel. Yes. I guess, yeah. And then we tied like 3 different times. And then finally you won. Exactly. I don't get how people are creeped out by that quest. Oh, finally I win. I had to think about that for a second. Had to think about the score and was like, wait, did I win? No, I think we're gonna. No, it's like, no, I won. Okay, good, cool. What you choosing next? All right. I'm gonna try out my left spin as well. Jesus. had to use my full team against a friend of ours earlier. So it's refreshing to be able to have an actual nice, like, refreshing battle. Great! How did you get up there? I guess all you have left is your balance now. Hold on. Okay.
She ready to eat now? Okay. What she say?
She said she's ready to eat.
Okay. But what you want on your burger?
there's a gimmick to your Beyblade. Throughout the battle, it will switch modes. It will first be in attack mode, and then go to defense after a while. In attack mode, it will be shorter, and there will be parts of the layer itself that will come out. Hmm. Mm-hmm. There we go. So it widens out a little, or the layer does anyways. The lion head and mane come out. Slip out my hands and now I have to I'm just thinking on whether I should use my attack type or my stamina. The problem is I don't think either of them are. But this stamina I have left is a left spin, so you might have a better chance.
Alright, kiddo.
What do you mean? Yes.
Your grandma her teeth.
Mm-hmm. Quite literally. So the combination of the Beyblade and GTA was because actually really just of the Act 2 heist glitch. Because of that heist glitch alone, I started doing Beyblade tournaments once I got back into it and started getting a bunch more of them. And whenever I do the Beyblade tournaments, there was always a prize of a certain amount of millions in GTA. Whoever would win against me would get like 1 million or whatever, or 2 million, sometimes 3 or whatever, depending on how many people were in the stream.
What is that?
Yes. They just have to defeat you. Or just about. Like, if there's 2 people plus me, then whoever wins, like, first place against, or, like, basically against me, just gets a mil. If there's, like, 4 or more people, then there'll be, like, first, second, and, like, third place prizes. If there's 4 people, there'll be first and second place prizes, just like yesterday, where I was trying to do the first and second place prizes. The first place would get 2 mil, second place 1. Maybe my attack type would have been a better match for me to lose, I guess. Never mind. Maybe that's what I needed. The reason I would do these streams is because I kept getting bored of just giving people millions and then not getting anything in return. Especially since even when I was promised something in return, they would just kind of leave and backstab me and give me nothing. So I started doing this. Yeah. So I started doing this, and it's like, at least even if I do end up giving away a mill, because I hate the mission at this point because of it, because of all the backstabbery and the free money, I just was like, at least if I do end up having to give someone a mill, I gained fun out of it and introducing more people to Beyblade. What, Beyblade? Beyblade was started in 1993. Yep. Or I think 1993. It was either 1993 or 1997. So Beyblade has some age on it. It's been... Yeah. It got a lot more popular in, I think, 2004. With the Beyblade, Metal Masters, Metal Fusion, and Metal Fury. Or basically the Metal Generation, and then they came up with a bunch of other things, and then it became Burst Generation, which is a lot of people's basically wet dream, because let's be honest, lots of people who used Metal Generation Beyblades would always unfasten or loosen the face bolt just to see their Beyblade explode, and then they got their wishes and were very unhappy about it. And I'm gonna be honest, I was also one of those people that really wasn't into the whole burst thing, the Beyblade burst with all the plastic and everything. And then I actually ended up getting 2 of them, and I was like, okay, you know what, fine, these aren't that bad. These are pretty interesting and they can be fun. Yep. With this, it's a lot more than just weight and stamina and such things like that. With this, you can't just focus on those 2 things. You also have to focus on the fact that you don't want to be easily burstable. And if you try and focus do a Metal Fury kind of thing and focus on just those 2, then the bursting is going to be knocking at your door immediately. Because with too much weight, the middle part of you, which is what really starts you bursting, will move a lot easier. And then if you have, let's say a stamina tip, more like bearing, which is very easily burstable, then you could easily burst because it's loose. And if you focus on something that is too round or anything, that possibly wouldn't get you any wins, or it could easily be worn down. And if you focus on something too light, it could be thrown around, which still there's a lot of things you gotta just worry about. You don't want to be easily burstable. You want to have enough stamina. You want
Why you on the cook for? They good too. Huh. You put them back in the damn freezer. That should be good. Still home. I just put them in the freezer so it ain't frozen.
Yeah, there's a lot more when it comes to the strategies of this. Beyblade itself already, you have to worry about every single strategy and trying to counter your opponent. Especially if you were in a tournament trying to win money. Now it's so much much harder. You gotta worry about stamina, your weight, not being too burstable, and also not using a Lego combo. You gotta worry about not being too heavy or too light, not wasting your stamina, not doing this, countering your opponent. It's just like, okay, look, alright, look. Either you're gonna win or you're gonna. There's literally now just a 50 Beyblade, 50-50 Beyblade that it either wins or it loses. That's it. It kills itself or it kills you. Which it is called Judgment Joker. One side, or they both sides have rubber on them. One side has a rubber on the inside of it that will connect to the metal part, which will have added weight to its attack, along with making it much harder to burst, if not impossible to burst, when it hits you, which is bringing that weight with the attack, which makes you burst. And the other side still has the rubber, but on the inside it has no rubber and can easily just burst. Along with its driver, which literally changes throughout the battle. It will go from sharp to attack. So it can make literally the weirdest movements in all of physics. You'll think. Yep. And then there's some Beyblades which now the one thing no blader ever wanted to happen, your Beyblade going completely unstable, yeah, these things will use that to their advantage. But yeah, there's a lot more to Beyblade now. Even though they're lighter, they are more interesting, I guess you could say. And somewhat less loud. Yes. But with that complication, it also can sometimes make it easier to fight. Because with just metal Beyblades, all you have is just like one really good way of winning. And that is either to throw your opponent out of the stadium or to win with your own stamina. But with Burst, not only can you win points quicker, but you can do it in different kinds of ways. And it makes it easier for you to just win. Because if you have a good strategy or good parts, you could actually, instead of bursting them or anything else, beat their stamina out of them. Literally. So if a Beyblade is like really hard to burst, just don't worry about bursting them then anymore. Just out-stamina them. And if you don't have enough stamina to actually do that, beat the stamina out of them, literally. Which is also one of the Beyblades you chose is very, very good at that. Your orange one, which is called Solar Sphinx, very, very good at beating the ever-living Christ out of any other Beyblade and hitting it with lots of impact, beating all the stamina out of it. Literally. Some of these also have metal on the layers itself, and some don't. One company called Hasbro kinda is lazy about how they make things. And then you have Takara the original makers of Beyblade, which have like lots more metal and everything and how they're really supposed to be made. And then Hasbro just takes the metal, strips the metal, strips some of the gimmicks, takes like a bunch of things off and changes it around a lot. Like this is a Hasbro Beyblade, and where this plastic is supposed to be, it is supposed to be completely metal. There's a metal ring, like part on the outside, but the inside is also supposed to be metal instead of just plastic. A fully metal, sharp stamina tip. It would add a lot more weight, and it wouldn't like melt down the tip as much, so it would completely stay sharp. Which is kind of the point of a metal tip. But, you know, I don't really know what kind of metal they use, to be honest. I don't really know. True. I'm gonna look it up. Hold on. There are some Beyblades that can accelerate themselves. There's a lot of Beyblades with that gimmick, and there are also Beyblades that spin steel, or steal the spin power and stamina of another Beyblade. I have actually 3 Beyblades that can do such. Or that mainly can, or supposed to, and made to. Drain Fafnir, Requiem Spriggan, and Geist Fafnir. Those 3 Beyblades are made to be able to very easily spin steel. However, one of them actually can not only spin steel, but they can give another Beyblade spin power. So much spin power to where it will actually kill itself. Yeah, it will just overspin it, and then it will legit just constantly hit the stadium or go out of control and proceed to kill itself. What I'm seeing is they are made out of polycarbonate. I think they're talking about the plastic though. Which is still why I'm questioning what is the metal made out of. What kind of metal are they using, Google? I'm actually curious. I've never really questioned it. This thing. Yeah. They don't rust. Yeah. They don't rust. You do have to. Yeah, I'm not really seeing what the metal is, like what metal they're using. It only says metal. I've tried using a magnet on them and it doesn't work. Hmm. Does aluminum rust? Yeah, I think it's just made out of aluminum alloy. Has to be. Because it doesn't rust. You do have to polish it from time to time, but it doesn't rust at all. With a screw, yes. Uh-oh. What heist are you guys doing? They were masochists. They loved the pain. Oh yeah, COVID. COVID has controlled everything.